Startup ecosystem, what the idea is that you have to learn how to pitch your idea clearly and concisely. And once you learn how to do that, then you can bring in all the stakeholders and you can get into programs that'll help you and train you on how to build it. But that first step is you have to design a business model that is desirable.
When I initially moved back to Pensacola, I had a meeting with Lloyd. Lloyd invited me for breakfast, and I was telling him, man, I still have an idea for the entertainment industry. This is what I wanted to do. He was like, all right, I got Startup on the Blocks. So I need you to start coming to Startup on the Blocks and get a little more information on how to work through the tech ecosystem and take your idea and we'll get you where you need to go. My company is called The Know, is an app that is streamlining business for the entertainment industry. Yeah, so if you're a musician, what you would do is pretty much jump on the platform, you'll create a profile, but the way we created the profile is pretty much a cleaner way. So now if they want more information about you, you'll connect your social media platforms, your streaming platforms, and that way they can go directly to it. What we also have included is your calendar. So pretty much you can set your days, you can set your price for your days and automate your booking. So initially talking to Lloyd, my idea was all here, it was there, it was over here, it was over there. It was like, all right, Quinn, I get it. You got a lot that you want to do, but we need you to bring it in just a little bit and then work on your pitch, your story, and how you're going to bring it full circle to get people to understand what you're trying to create.
Most of the programs here wasn't inclusive. And so we said we'll focus on helping founders of color. We also start at the beginning of the thing, at the idea stage, whereas a lot of the programs you see here locally, they start after you're up and that's not very efficient unless if you don't have a lot of money, you can't recover from your mistakes. And the lean startup system, it actually helps you make mistakes faster before you spend a lot of money. You don't actually start building anything until you got customer buy-in.
There was a need for small businesses to bring brand awareness to their business. I see there's a lot of makers and bakers that they're making all of these goodies and these products, but they can't market it, they can't sell it at the same time, and there needs to be kind of like that middleman, that middle person to help bring economic growth to some of the small businesses in Pensacola. So Taste of Pensacola, I came up with that idea during the pandemic when I saw things at that time that Amazon couldn't fulfill. They didn't even have those products, but the local people in the community, they did. And so there was a ton of people coming out saying, hey, I make masks. I'm like, wow, this is amazing. All the local people here that are just as talented that can actually make those products. And so I wanted to kind of showcase who they were. So with Taste of Pensacola, our income streams, we have several of them. We have the corporate America, we do corporate gifting, just regular consumers, different Pensacola natives that don't live here that want to purchase our boxes, like a taste of weddings, distribution. So we also do bulk sales. So for a private airline, if they want some local snacks and goodies on their passenger flights, they will come to Taste of Pensacola and we will source their vendors here locally. And we'll give a small business owner an opportunity to have reoccurring monthly sales. I've always had a really big vision for Taste of Pensacola. I knew that it could go beyond just local. I know that maybe other communities could possibly use the same platform that I'm trying to build. And I always have these big visions, but I never know how to even get there. Where do I start? I know it's more than, there's a lot of technical things behind it. I know there's a lot of research, but that connection, I never had it until, thankfully, I met and was introduced to Startups on the Blocks and was able to just learn more about how to grow it in terms of data. Things I just never thought about, framework, words like traction. There's a lot of things that I just did not know about and language that I need to know in order to get funding for my business. There's just a lot that I didn't know.
I would go to the stores and look online. They didn't have a wide variety of natural hair products about 8 years ago. And the ones that they did have, the ingredients, it would say that they were all natural. And when I would research the ingredients, a lot of the ingredients were not natural. I make everything, my shampoo, conditioner, I have an oil that I make, and I have 2 different separate butters. Like I had some people who were completely bald and grew their hair. It's about giving women their confidence back in their hair. I have this salon and then I have a second salon, and I have my products in about 5 beauty supply stores. So I need a manufacturer to keep up with the demand at this point. Startup on the Blocks has helped my business grow. Send me to different people. I'm able to do different pitch competitions to apply for grants in the community for small businesses. Lloyd's a really good person to connect with. He has a lot of resources here in the community that can help small businesses grow. If you have a product out there and you're trying to go big time, he's the person that you would want to meet with.
So it's really important to have some type of support because 9 times out of 10, most founders start out on their own. And to have somebody that has an idea of how the ecosystem works and is able to tap into other resources and bring back to the community, and that pretty much has encountered some of the roadblocks or going through the same roadblocks that we're currently going through and understands where you're at, your culture and how you respond to things, is a big help because you don't really have too many people that have access to what we have access to here in the community. And a lot of people believe that you have to leave and go to bigger cities to do the things that we're doing here. But I mean, it's one thing to have exposure, but you have to actually know it's here in the community in order to take advantage of the resources. So I get approached and I talk to friends all the time that wants to either start an idea or hear that I'm actually doing the app and wants to know more information about how are you doing it or what's the process, what's the path. I'm like, man, we have somebody here, Start Up on the Blocks, Lloyd Richard. And Lloyd is here, he's a great resource to the community and to founders that's trying to learn the ecosystem. So join Start Up on the Blocks.
Hello. How are you, Ebony?
Hi, how's it going?
Good. Glad to have you on tonight. Yeah. So, are you all getting into that cold weather down there?
Yes, I actually put on some socks today. And this evening I was like, oh, you know what? I'll put a little like turtleneck on.
Yeah. So, like the temperature starts off kind of warm and then it cools down for some reason, but it's
Super quick.
Yeah. Tomorrow we're gonna get some cooler weather, in the 40s. I guess some people say that's nothing.
Well, yeah, it's just a little bit of a shock. It's been a while since, we've gotten a cold front in October.
Yes.
It's been quite a while since we've gotten a cold front in October. So, we are. I can't complain because I know my people's up north. They're really layered up right now.
Yeah. That's exactly right. So I'll let you go ahead and introduce yourself real quick, and we can get started.
Yes. So I am the CEO of Promotions, and I to. I'm sorry. I'm getting so much sun. A minute. So CEO of Promotions, we've been technology and communications. We've been for several years, and so tonight I'm excited to be with you to talk to you about my I guess the most role I volunteer in right now is with the Black Innovation Leaders of Florida. I'm on the board serving with Lloyd here, and we've been able to put together some things over the last couple of years, and so here we are in November and about to embark on 3 events coming up.
That's fantastic. Yeah. So that's really good. And I found a problem on Echo, and so
okay.
So that's neat. But I think so. We definitely going to talk about that. But we also want to know about the above promotions.
Yes. So we've been around for a long time, and I feel like because I've been doing a lot of in-person like catch-ups and events trying to get ready for this one coming up. I'm feeling like, haven't you guys heard this already? but so yeah, I started it off above promotions many moons ago, and I was still working my corporate job and doing it on the side, kind of like a lot of people doing their hustle. And all the while I was like funding my own business, so I always tell founders, like, sometimes you have to be your first investors. You have to be that self-funder, and you've got to put in the work. And so when I started seeing the writing on the walls with the organization that I was working at, over like 18 months, I'm seeing like, okay, their revenue is changing a bit and all this. I'm seeing, I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait it out. And I did. I took my my little, I don't want to say balloon, what they say, parachute. I took my little parachute and I sailed full time into my business. And that has been about 8-9 years now. I've been doing it full time. So we have been really, really just trying to help people focus on how can they implement technology to help tell their stories, to run their marketing campaigns, to the other aspect of how can we do crisis communications for cybersecurity incidents. So it's been a very good journey being able to meld my engineering background with marketing communications for business. So here we are.
Yeah, fantastic. Well, yeah, so that's the really, really neat, and it's definitely needed. And so, but I guess you've gotten me involved with this idea of the Black Innovation Leaders of Florida. There was an item, and so, but so what spurred you on to lead the effort to create that organization?
So, okay, the story is this. Myself and another colleague, we were sitting at a conference in Orlando. He and I both were on the board of that organization, talking about the fact that there's so many people doing the good work of in the community and across the state. And so we thought we really need to start communicating more. Like, I know people, people, we need to start sharing resources. And so we said, well, you know what? Everybody's going to be in Tampa in February, coming from across the state. Let's get everybody together. That organization that had the big conference, they set aside some time. We had this Black Tech meetup in their conference. And then afterwards, we kind of went off to the side and we started having these conversations. And I remember we wanted Lloyd there, but he was so busy working his Kakua booth. He said he didn't have time for us. But but if you know Lloyd, you know it's true. He is about Kakua. And so we met and we were like, we really need to kind of just continue the conversation, getting people together, network. We just have to do better as a community to support one another. And that's how the conversation started. Some of us hopped on calls and here we are, having done innovation tour stops in Tampa and Orlando, Miami, Pensacola twice. So we've been just really trying to focus on what can we do to connect the state? What can we do to unite the community, to bring wealth and equity, focus on talent, focus on entrepreneurs, focus on capital. And that's what we're trying to do, one city and region at a time.
Fantastic. Yeah. So I think when we actually met, it was at Chris's place at that mall thing. Yeah, that's where we first met. And then I think, following, we met then. And then the following year, I think, was the deal up at the Synapse conference. And but so we
but that's funny. But I want to stop you for a second, because that's funny is because I knew of you and I think we had connected online, and then I'm just randomly at this event and here is Lloyd all the way from Pensacola at this event in Tampa. And then I think we had like a mutual colleague, Dr. Clayton, which I need to call him anyways because he's one of our advisors. And that was just so funny to me. And I thought that, that is just how it just kind of happens. All of us that are doing the work, we know each other and we just don't know that we knew each other. And that was kind of like, one of those melding pots of realizing we need to do something better together.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And so I'm definitely excited about it. I love the idea of, being on the board and partnering with the organization to kind of get things done. It's definitely has made a difference for us at the Kakua Institute. And
well, I'll tell you, you've been that sage advice because I feel like you and Dr. Eugene, you guys pull us back. You're like, well, but why are we doing this? Our good classic Lloyd comment. AI can do that, right? Lloyd's like, come on, y'all. Let's work smarter, not harder.
Yeah, this life is really, really interesting, and so everybody definitely needs to get on board. And I think that's part of the theme of these events that are coming up as well. So, how do you want to do it? Do you want to talk about each one a little bit and kind of the ideas
Yeah.
behind it? Which one you want to do first?
So let's talk about Beyond the Block first, because that one's kind of a little bit separate. So we have three
Okay,
days coming up. So let's talk about Beyond the Block.
okay,
That is an event that we are doing as a part of the Tampa Bay Urban Futures Festival. And so it was previously called the Afrofuturism Festival for Tampa Bay. But they rebranded this year, and we talked with them last year, and somehow we lost track, and I didn't hear anything about it, and then the event happened, completely forgot about it. So this year we're like, we really need to do something together. They typically do a lot of things on St. Pete's side, so they wanted to get more things on Tampa, and I'm like, we have a great group of people in Tampa that can represent technology in a really awesome way. And so that's how we kind of came up with this particular event that's happening during the festival.
yeah,
So Beyond the Block, from Code to Capital, we really wanted to focus on the community that is in East Tampa. That is a predominantly Black community. And there's a lot of power, there's a lot of opportunities in that community. And
hmm
so, but we recognize too that getting them more exposed to the technologies that can help them with their businesses, to help them, financially, to help them with their side hustles because they still got a job, funding themselves. So we thought that this would be a good opportunity to do that. And I'm excited because we've got Dr. Eugene, we've got Rose, who are on the board. We're going to be covering AI. So we've got Aura Tanner, who was our education committee chair before. She's going to speak. We're bringing in Martika, who runs Boop, who's also, I'm proud of her in itself because she's kind of picking up the baton from where myself and some other colleagues left off with Techstars and really bringing that home into the Tampa Bay area. So we've got we've got Derek Watford from High Point Gamer, and I'm really excited. He and I are both going to be sharing some ways that you can use AI to make money, generate products, and sell them online. So we're really excited about that, but we also felt we needed to cover the financial part.
okay,
So if you've got a business and you're trying to grow or you want to get more capital, you can't do that by telling people to Cash App you everything and it meets you on the corner of so and so, because the bank doesn't care about how many sales you did in Cash App. They want to see your accounting, your ledger. And so we're going to cover some of that too, and we're going to do it in a really cool space. It's at the skill center, and it's in their esports gaming arena. So I'm very excited about going.
Okay, fantastic. Yeah, so how did you come up with the name for that, Beyond the Block from Code to Capital?
Oh, well, AI helped a bit. I gave it a lot of words. So
Okay,
think about all the words that I just said. And I said,
okay,
this is the event we're coming up with. And, it needs to be something that is a little bit more hip, that's direct and can kind of speak to it. We don't always necessarily want to put tech in the title of something.
right.
So, it just kind of came away massaging, a lot of prompts, massaging and asking for ideas.
Yes, but it's definitely a catchy title, and it's definitely seems to be working, with the registrations and stuff like that. So yeah, so I guess that's like a kind of a takeaway. Take some time to get that catchy title.
Yeah, you have to. And but some of the things too, whenever we're like working through and brainstorming and prompting, using AI, is
Yeah,
that you have to kind of like know a little bit of something, right? So I if it came back with a title that sounded too close to another event
okay,
that I'm familiar with, or another organization I'm familiar with, whether they're local or in the state, I didn't want to use that title. So again, this is kind of like, I just kind of want to reiterate, a lot of people think you can just take whatever AI gives you and then put it out there and run with it. But you really do need to think through what you're going to share and what everything is about, and really know how to massage those prompts if you're using it.
Yeah. So the workflow is you give it the back, because you had to have it. So the main thing is, I guess, you want to change the economic situation of the people in that area.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah. And so it's kind of a good lesson. Yeah. So is that a common method you use, a workflow you use when you're doing events or workshops and stuff like that?
Yeah. So whenever I'm in the process of doing something, so I always have the idea, know where we need to land.
Yeah.
And so knowing that helps you to kind of work through, like, what do you need, how it's going to work. And so much of, if we come up with this title, is this a title that we can repeat in other places and continue to do that? So everything actually about that flyer was kind of thought out. If you see this space, the Skill Center is very graphic heavy, and it's the facility's been open a little over a year.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, it's a beautiful facility. Suncoast Credit Union helped to fund that, and they've given it to us before in the past, so I'm okay with dropping their name.
Yeah.
And so even in that photo there, I went into Canva and was doing the search, give me all photos from Tampa.
Okay.
And that's actual photo in Tampa. So if you're familiar with downtown Tampa, that is a picture of a tunnel that's in downtown Tampa. So a lot of things, when I'm working with ideas and thinking about stuff, we're primarily working based off of things we know, like what colors work together. We know this. So we kind of have an idea of what colors we want to use. And then we might iterate and change that. But you definitely have to know where you're going to end up and what that result will be. So that's why I'm always a little bit more, whenever I'm talking to businesses doing workshops about AI and business and marketing, I really try to iterate that. And I think that also helps you prompt better, right?
Gotcha. Yeah. So I never would have thought about using some actual photos or pictures from the area, to kind of help come up with the graphic, so that's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, because that graphic, that building is a popular building that you can see no matter what side of downtown you're on.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's but that's the intentionality that years, I mean, 20 plus years of doing marketing, that's the kind of expertise you bring to the tools that you have. And so I think that when you're using some of these tools to create products, like, I don't know if you saw, but Canva had their annual keynote today, and
No.
oh man, they dropped some more stuff. You're gonna love it. I think you should go watch the video. Some more AI stuff dropped.
I will.
Yep, some more AI stuff dropped, and I think it's great to see the iteration of it. But again, people have to know, like, there's certain symbols and shapes and things that could resemble another brand, and you don't want to end up in a predicament because you didn't do your research and you don't know. So I think the tools of technology with some guidance can be like instrumental for anybody.
Yeah, so that's really neat, and so Canva has a program for nonprofits, and I'm not sure if they have a program for startups, but that's probably a good question to ask.
Yeah, so they don't have anything for startups, but they do. The nonprofit, I think it's the first 10 licenses, and so BILF, we have our 10 licenses. So, but I use it through my company, and so I haven't really seen how in depth the nonprofit license is. So like we have the pro and teams, so that
Yeah.
all of my team can do the design work and share the stuff. So, but I will tell you, well, some things I saw, it's I mean, I there's no reason why people should have sucky graphics after what Canva is released again, and they've really improved on some things. And the funny thing is, like 3 weeks ago, they sent me an email because
Mhm.
I did a suggestion on a thing they should implement onto the tool. So
Yeah.
then they sent an email asking if I wanted to do a video that they would use during the keynote, and I didn't do it.
Oh, no. You
I
did-
didn't do it. I know my husband was like, "Why didn't you do it?" And I was like, I was like busy doing something else, and then next thing you know, I was like, "Oh, okay, no, I'm not good."
Yeah, time is going by. But it's
Mhm.
good to have relationships with these big companies like that and be on their radar,
Yeah,
for
yeah.
sure. But so like so I don't use Canva as
Mhm.
much as you do, but I think that's another key point. The tools you use, you have to be always watching what's new coming and what's going on, and be up to date on it. Yeah.
Yeah, because once part of some of the work that we do is we'll help a company build their marketing tech stack.
Yeah.
So when we come in and then I'm like, well, why do you have this license and this license and this
Yeah.
license? And you know how it is, Lloyd. You've been in this world.
I
People just
experiment.
stack up licenses.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So
yeah,
like,
I'm excited to see what it is, but definitely because I know you are into AI like me, so check
yeah.
out the latest updates to it.
Yeah. So I think the last point I want to talk about that Canva is that so since that's a tool you use and you use with your customers and stuff, so how do you keep up to date on what's going on with Canva? Because I didn't even
Mhm.
know any social media about the annual conference or keynote today.
Yeah, so I mean, I think once you sign up for it, they send you emails, but when you're in the tool, they remind you like 2 months out that the annual keynote's coming up because they're an Australian company, and
Yes.
so they'll it's always there, which I think
Yeah.
is pretty cool. But they are also doing US tours. So I think if anybody is into Canva, you need to go into the app, and then there should be like a banner that says like Canva worldwide tour, and then you
Okay.
can click on that and see what cities it's coming to. I think as of right now, I mean, they may have come to Florida before, but I think there's one coming up next month in Daytona.
Oh wow, that's a strange location.
I know, right? It's like, why did I mean nothing against Daytona? I love you guys over there, but it's just not the normal place.
Yeah.
A global company would come and say we're going to go do some things.
Yeah. So for folks in the audience, if you got a questions for Ebony, please feel free to ask, since she is a marketing expert. So yeah, so with this, so I'm not going to be there, but like, so it's gonna. So is there? So it's mainly to serve that local neighborhood, but do you think you're going to have people coming in from across the state to be there as well?
This is this is a part of the festival, which
Okay.
covers Hillsborough and Pinellas County.
Okay.
And so there's events happening in Tampa, St. Pete, and Tarpon Springs, which I was like, whoa. But actually that event seems kind of interesting too, because they're talking about urban prepping, which I think
Okay.
is pretty cool. I don't think it's something that our community talks about a lot. But so I think we're going to have the people in the region. I think we're going to see people across 3-4 counties coming to the events throughout the festival. I
Yeah.
would love to see people coming from other parts of Florida coming in, because Actually, it's funny the way they have it lined up. It's like our events from 10 to 2. So
Yeah.
if you do come in town, anyone watching, our events from 10 to 2, and then there's like another event a couple hours after that, and then there's another event a couple hours after that. So, and I think the last event of the night is like a fashion event. And then at the end of the festival, there's like another burst of tech happening in St. Pete. And that's going to have Ricardo, Infinity Aero Club. He's probably going to take some of his drones and
Okay.
pilot software and tools and stuff over there. But I think it's really cool because I I think our tech is probably definitely more adults, and then theirs is going to be more family, more kids. So I think it's good range for people to get exposure to technology. So I definitely think we're going to get people from across the Central Florida, Tampa Bay area.
Yeah, good. Yeah. So that actually sounds pretty neat. It almost sounds like it's something similar to our Fufu Festival that kicks off tomorrow here in Pensacola, but it only goes for like 2 weeks. But we don't do anything as fancy as like this event right here.
Yeah, I'm glad that we were able to align with it. I'm praying for the success of it and to continue to grow. There are so many, like I was talking with Derek, who runs the esports space,
Yeah.
and there's so many areas in Tampa that we can be in. For me, East Tampa, even though I didn't live there, I had God family there. So I spent a lot of time
Yeah.
in that area. So I've seen the power of Black entrepreneurs who wouldn't even call themselves entrepreneurs. They were just going out trying to make money for their families. And so to be able to bring us to that neighborhood I'm very happy with. I mean, who knows? We might go to a different area of Tampa next year, or maybe the festival is like, hey, let's do it in St. Pete or something. We'll see. But I'm excited for the start for it.
Yeah, this particular event, I noticed. So I still get the registrations too, and I noticed they're just steadily flowing in. So I think it's going to be a great event. You
know what? And you can appreciate this. In Florida, why do we wait till the last minute to register? It drives me crazy. Every time I'm a part of helping an event or something, it's always like Floridians are like, they talk about island time, but Floridians got that down. They register at the last minute. So,
I think for this particular event, if people wait too long, they I don't know what the capacity is, but
there is a capacity, and so I'm aware that it's possible we could go over it, but I don't want to talk about that in front of the venue. I'm just, but it's a possibility because it's an esports arena, so it's not like we're using because it's the whole center. It's amazing. They do so many programs around sports and health to help that area, and they really pull in the community. I mean, kids who would normally be playing in the streets, doing the wrong things, they're spending their time there. The adults are spending time there. So the concept and the facility is awesome, and I think that who knows? Maybe we'll graduate to a bigger room, but that's just the fact that there's an esports gaming room facility in the hood. Come on, man. I love it.
Yeah, I think that I'm almost sorry I'm not coming down.
Well, we're bringing you down for the other two events. So I mean, outside of renting a condo for you to stay for the month, I guess.
That's there's a lot of things going on up here in Northwest Florida too. So it's crazy this time of year. Everybody's trying to do everything before the end of the year.
Oh, I know. It's so crazy how many events, especially, I don't know for you guys, but there are a lot of tech events coming up, and I'm like, why is all the tech events in the last quarter of the year? We got to rethink those people. But it's because everybody takes the summer off, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So, and then people are afraid of the hurricane season.
Mm-hmm.
So you gotta wait till, yeah, you gotta wait till like November to start doing things so you feel safe.
Yeah. So I guess on this particular event, one last thing I was thinking about is so we're doing this event in partnership with a larger event. Is kind of what the deal is, but just through that partnership, we're able to help fulfill the mission of Black Innovation Leaders of Florida.
Yes, yes, yeah.
The
And
strategy.
at your point, you know, like we always want to uplift, right? I mean,
Mhm.
obviously if I had like a Gates Foundation budget, I
Oh,
would love to have like my own like week where we pull in everybody from all across the state and it's free and we got a
mhm.
block of rooms and people can, but you know, that's not happening. So I love the fact that we can collaborate with
Yeah.
other organizations where we see, and I think we are definitely in a space and time where we have to collaborate.
Oh,
Like,
for sure. Yeah.
like I know we've said it before, but it's like if you want to eat, you better start collaborating.
Yeah. But this event appears to be a free event, right? And
Yes,
so,
it's
yeah,
completely free. The whole
uh,
entire festival. Well, I think the whole entire festival, or about just about all of it. I'm not sure about
yeah,
the fashion show, but
yes,
it's free. Yeah.
yeah. So, but it definitely sounds like it's worth a trip if if you're in, yeah, because but I guess the word Tampa is, yeah, so you can easily fly into there for sure. The flight tickets are pretty reasonable. But yeah, it sounds like a fun time. So, is there anything else you want to share about this event uh, that might be helpful?
Um, I just not on this event, but I think for all of the events, if anyone is watching and they're like, "Oh, I know someone that lives in Tampa or St. Pete,"
Oh, got
definitely
it.
share with them. That's like the easiest thing you could do to help the community. If you want to spread wealth, the easiest thing
Yeah.
you could do is share the event, right? So,
Uh, I'm so glad you mentioned that because, like, the everybody has friends everywhere almost, and so that was one of the things I was a little concerned about is how connected I with organizations there in St. Pete and Tampa area to help drive traffic to the events and so probably connected to some organizations, but I haven't built those strong relationships to kind of get help to kind of get people
mhm.
there. Yeah, and so that's
Yeah.
something.
But
Wow.
what I love is that with the next event we're going to talk about, that you're coming down for that, and I think it's going to be a good opportunity for you to connect Kakua Institute.
Mhm,
And this event is a part, or it's a 2 days event series, two
mhm.
totally different agendas for both days. So don't think you're registered one day only. No, 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 no. Register both days. You got to be in the house.
For
But
sure.
our intent with this one, it's a part of the Innovation Pipeline Project where we focus on how can we actually not just bring you to the event, but give you a place to land and continue to develop after the event ends. And I'm excited about this. I'm glad that you're coming down because most of these people are probably going to be coming to Kakua Institute, getting into the cohorts that the
Mhm.
18 million that you run a year. And they'll be, learning more. So, how about I ask you the question because you're going to be uh, breaking down the Lean Canva
Oh,
and doing some other things. So, why don't you tell us about what some of the entrepreneurs can learn on the first day?
yeah. So the bottom line is that when you got an idea for a business or trying to grow a business, there is a process that you can follow. You don't have to just guess what you do and can't figure out what to do. So I'm going to make sure you know the process, and also going to make sure AI helps you with the process.
I'm telling you, it's if it's it wasn't intentional to be like all this focus on AI, but right now it is like this tool that is not as expensive for people to have these assistants to grow their startups and their small businesses. So you got to use it, right?
Yeah. And so like I was I'm participating in a conference here in Pensacola right now. And yesterday a lady came up and she had a business idea, and she said she's on ChatGPT all day, and she said, I just don't know what to do. And she's a veteran, and wasn't familiar with the the Veterans Florida and all the programs they have for vets. Yeah, and it's like, and we have cohorts up here, for Kakua doesn't do them, but they have plenty of cohorts up here for veterans, because we know we're heavy with veterans in West Florida. But and so since she said that I was on ChatGPT all the time, so I told her just go on ChatGPT on the phone and just say, ask it to explain what her business idea is. And so she did that prompt, and it told her what her business idea is. And she had never heard of lean canvas, so I told her to tell it to create a lean canvas for the business idea, and it created the lean canvas for us. And by the way, the reason why you want to know this is it's the most concise way you can explain your business and what you're trying to do with your business. It's the language. I think even banks now speak that language, but definitely in the startup world, they speak that language. And so everything, if you at the idea stage, you don't literally, it's just like people used to do in business plan, but this is your one-page business plan, but it has the key ingredients that you need to communicate. And so, you start way before you go get a location or build something. And so we'll show you the whole process, the steps to do that, and actually leave you with the tools that the AI actually takes you through all the steps. And so it's I just love how much help leveraging the AI has benefit entrepreneurs. And believe it or not, I still have, even this week, talking to an entrepreneur that's hesitant to use AI. That was it. That's still interesting to me. Yeah.
So what's their business? I'm wondering.
Well, it's in this case, it's not even about what their business is. They just don't understand how not using it is going to hold them back.
Yeah. I think this one saying that I heard someone provide at this event that I was speaking at recently is that AI is not going to take your job. It's AI is going to help you because of the fact that the person that does use it is going to take your job. That's the one who's going to take your job. And so the same thing with businesses. It might not be, you're worried about your colleague getting the business instead of you, but it could be the edge of the fact that they figured out how to be efficient with their time. And one of the things I think that we don't talk enough about in terms of AI is you get to say what you don't know, and it will tell you what you don't know. Right. You prompt through it enough, it will help you think through things. So I know I have I set up a business coach of mine. So I go into it once a week, and I'm like, hey, we're still working on this goal. Guess what? We're only a few thousand from hitting our revenue goal for the year. So what are some ideas that get us there? And, we're having this conversation, and there's times where I'm just thinking through, we want to move out of the country. What countries can I go into with my business? You know how long that would have taken me? Like before, if I had asked that question 10, 15 years ago, I'd have to make an appointment with somebody at SBDC or
Yeah.
US Commercial Services. And that would take 2-3 months
Yeah.
just for them to come back and get you this data from 2 years ago.
Mhm.
So I mean, I don't think that you can solely make your business decisions off there, because it's not going to fully know your business. It doesn't know the economics. It doesn't know, what the president or the governor for the state has put out that might be affecting your business. It doesn't know that. So, but there's ways for you to allow it to tell you those things that you didn't think about.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, you might. So, like, I remember when ChatGPT was getting popular, there was a company that did a kind of like a risk analysis, and one of the risk analysis was the political stuff, and so and so that's real, and so, but if you're not even aware that's a possibility, and one of the things I see with the I get this a lot, is people have an idea how they want to make money with their business. And so, but they don't realize there are a lot of other ways they can make money with their business that might be easier or complement what they're doing. And so so you get to know what all the possibilities are, and you can make the decisions, because it just increases your awareness of the different possibilities. So that's
the research part of it is extremely helpful. Because again, you get to talk to it to find out what you don't know. And example is, anytime I have to meet with one of our attorneys, I go to GPT and I'm like, I want to talk to the issue first, because they charge by the hour. I'm trying to come with everything and really condense that time. So but I still need their expertise, because GPT can't write my contract. They don't know and how to explain how to get out of something if this technology fails, or if we built this tool that connecting 2 different Microsoft products together to give them this dashboard. It doesn't know that. It's not going to give me that. So there's different ways that you can use it. Even from we talk about what tools you need to use. Hey, how can I do something more efficient? This is something we do on a regular basis. Give me some ideas of how I can be more efficient with this area, which something you hate to do.
Yeah, and getting so basically, for just traditional business stuff, other than AI technology and doing tech stuff with AI, but I guess it was probably about 2.5 years ago, I was reading an article and it said, leverage AI to 100x your business. And the light bulb went on, and I said, well, I wonder what AI does know about the ChatGPT does know about all this business stuff. And and that was a really, really eye opener. And it helped 3 people win that same day using what it suggested. It helped 3 people win $1,000 each.
Wow.
In less than 24 hours, so
wow.
And so now after doing all these dozen or so cohorts and all the stuff that founders struggle with, so I've created an AI prompt that helps the founders through everything from idea all the way to their marketing thing and marketing campaigns, and so it's a really neat tool, but it just follows. It's not just prompting about your business. It's following a structured process that your business need to go through. And so always related back to my career, working at the Air Force Research Lab, when we came up with an idea, we didn't know if it was going to be succeed or not. And a lot of the ideas we had to run the whole programs, it was like tens of millions of dollars. And so what we did is we just followed the R&D process, how to do research. and it literally, entrepreneurship literally mirrors that exact same process. And so how can you going to commit 10 million to doing something, and if you don't know whether it's going to succeed or not? But what you do is you follow the process. And I discovered the method, the lean startup method it's an entrepreneur method that you can actually use. And we used a lean stack and a startup science. And the lean stack has a structured product thing, all the way from going from your idea to making sales and stuff like that. And so, but it's basically mostly was a manual process, and then but it had some tools in there, and it has some non-AI tools in there. And then when you get to learn how to sell, that's when they start using the AI tools. And so so that was pretty interesting. And then so I said, well, people are really struggling learning this process. So I said, well, how can AI help with this? And then so I just helped AI learn what the process was. And so it actually could take people through the process. So now, yeah, go ahead.
I love that you do that. I think there is a mental block for a lot of people when it comes to like the operational stuff. Like entrepreneurs are really good at being creative, coming up with all these ideas, but nobody wants to talk about forecasting. No, those, the margins, they don't want to really focus in on the numbers. Yeah. And I like that you take that approach of using AI to kind of make it seem less sufferable.
Yeah. Well, the good news about the Lean Stack program in the early stages, it has a tool called the Traction Roadmap, but in essence, it's like your like it's forecasting your profit and stuff, but what it does differently than a traditional forecast, it actually, you set your goal, what you want to do in 3 years, and on annual recurring revenue, and then the tool works backwards to tell you what you have to do right now, month by month, in order to reach that goal. But it also, the purpose of the tool is to make sure your financial your sales price for your products and services are viable. Because if you can't reach your goal in those 3 years based on what you're selling your stuff for, you're going to require too many customers. You learn real quick in 5 minutes that price is not viable.
Yeah.
And literally, I can tell you on this same program, I've talked to founders have been working on their stuff 2-3 years, and their pricing model is not even viable.
And I wish more startups that are pitching and hoping to get capital would use it, because we sit through pitches, and I was having this conversation with some other BIA members the other day, and everybody says it's $1 billion market, and this is our capacity with their $300 product. Now, how many products do you need to sell to get it? So it's like, there's this disconnect. But again, entrepreneurs, we're good at dreaming. We're good at creating stuff. And we can get the job done, but is it going to be efficient? Like, we could probably execute some really great products, but is it going to take us $100,000 to create one product?
But you have the tools that help you learn what is possible and what you have to do to make it happen. That's a whole new mindset that you gain, and you speak with, not just with wishful thinking. You actually can say, this is why I know this is going to work. This is the numbers. But believe it or not, that's what the deal is. When you start telling people about your business or pitching your business, and they can literally, just like you said, they can tell that the numbers don't work, and they're not ready. And so you have to learn how to communicate your whole business model, not your solution.
Yeah, yeah. And
So
I
yeah.
think it's that because this conversation for our podcast last week with our guest is that everyone who has some type of tech product now likes to lead with our product has AI.
Hmm.
Okay, and people still want to know what the solution is.
Yeah.
You still got to be able to communicate and share that.
Hmm. Yeah, so that's exactly right. And so this is the lineup you put up, and I guess it's kind of small here. Can you see it okay?
Yeah, I can see it okay. I don't know if everyone else can, but I can.
Well, just a little bit. So you so kind of tell us what's going on here. I see you got joint stuff here, and you got
Yeah, yeah. So our the 2 days we are bringing in both people who want to grow their business, expand their side hustle on the entrepreneur side, and we're running a track for talent. So if you ever thought about getting into technology, if you ever thought about transitioning into a role where you think there's going to be more technology around you, you need to be there. We are going to talk from the beginning of just looking at making sure you're digitally literate to be able to work in a workplace that is using a lot of Slack and all these other tools and having you go back and forth. And then by the end of the second day, you would have already learned about the different tech roles. We've got Salima coming from Career Source. She's going to say, like, what are the tech roles out there right now? What are their salary ranging? What does it look like for this local market? So if you're thinking, hey, I want to get into software engineering, or I just want to get into help desk support, one, I want to go from McDonald's to doing customer service technology support. That's you'll get to learn like what are some of the open opportunities in the Tampa Bay area. You're also going to get a chance to learn from Aura Tanner, who is going to talk about AI. She's going to kick off the whole AI discussion about how it's used in businesses and on the job place. And we've got a session talking about finances, because to be entrepreneur, you need to have your finances together. You need to know how to get on that path. To get a lot of tech jobs with certain companies, they're doing background checks. So we want to make sure everybody knows how to work on getting their finances together. And then we've got a session on LinkedIn, how you present yourself on LinkedIn. And some people are still think that they shouldn't participate in LinkedIn, but I think you're extremely missing out. The connections that there are people that I have met in Canada and Washington who I would never meet in Tampa. And we have shared resources with one another, giving each other referrals. So I think it's a miss for anyone looking for a job or anyone with a business not on LinkedIn. So by the afternoon, after lunch, that's where we're splitting up. And the people who are working on business, Lloyd's going to get you right. People who are looking for jobs, Nigel's going to get you right. And so, yeah, we're going to just be talking through some of these things. And that's day one. And that's November 8th. And then we come back in December 6th. And that is going to be diving more into like the AI tools to use for your business. And it's going to be talking more about how you could go into the job or go into an interview prepared, because you've utilized AI to run your interviews to help you get and search for jobs and make sure you're using the right keywords and tools. So it really wasn't meant to be an AI focused thing, but it's a tool that is affordable for anyone to use to really move and generate a prosperous path for themselves. So that's why we've got prosperity through technology. So if you go to our Black Innovation and FL.org, go to events page, you'll see the November 8th event, you'll see the December 6th event, the calendar, and the agenda is there. You get to see who's going to talk about it. So I would love to see like 200 people there. But even more so, I want to see people who are hungry to actually be prosperous. So if it's just Lloyd and I playing on AI, I'm fine with it. Because we could do some damage. I don't know. I feel like if Lloyd and I were sitting with AI for a good week, we'd have our own country.
So like with the talent thing, so I have a career prompt, for that too. So that plans help you plan out your whole career and all the tasks you need to do, and you can sync it with your Google Calendar, so you never know what not to do. But also with this same thing, it creates an AI agent based on what your career thing is, and so you can always ask questions, about that. And it's just the technology is basically came a long way. Like our workflow with the AI right now is it's just even with the talent thing. So generate a kind of a roadmap for the people with their careers based on where they are now and where they want to go. And then we actually take that results of that prompt, dump it over in the Notebook LM, and now they can listen to the podcast and ask the podcast questions about their career, about the salary and the job.
Have you seen the video, the video edition that Notebook LM added?
Oh yeah. So every workshop we do, even something like this, I can take the transcript and create a explainer video just based on what we've been saying. I literally already took the documents that from the website here, dumped them into Notebook LM on a free account, and created a video and a podcast for each workshop, and a video for the combined things, for both events. And so it's just, you can just get so much more understanding. But the thing that you can just literally ask questions about the event in the chat part of it, or you can listen to the podcast and talk to it. Yeah, and the explainer videos are just off the chain.
Yeah, they are. I think I had went, because I think I go into at least once a week, Notebook LM, like ChatGPT, Gemini, Copilot. I'm in those like every day.
Yeah.
But Notebook, and then I went in and I was like, a new feature.
And believe it or not, the thing this week, so I think it had like 50,000 word context window, and now it has 1 million word context window. And they're saying that, and it's already, I haven't seen it yet, but you're going to be able to, it's also going to generate Google slides based on the stuff. It's going to do so many things. It's just crazy.
I love it. Now, Google Slides templates aren't the cutest. They don't compare with Canva, but I love it. Right? I love it. And which, again, you need to go and watch that Canva AI, the update. Yeah, because they've even improved how their AI handles slides and creation. So, but yeah, I love it. One thing I don't like, I wish they could figure out a way of the mind map. You know how you can do that, and it's just like a static file that you can give someone. I wish there was a way to only make that public, and then people can click through it. Because I have a mind map for BILF, and it's insane, and it goes into so many trees. They're putting it in one doc. Anyways, I digress, but that's just AI nerd talk here.
Yeah, but even with that, you can actually, for a certain part of the mind map, you can do a prompt for it to edit the video creation to do we have to create a video just for that part of it.
Yeah.
What other? Because so you've used Notebook LM to help with grant stuff too, right?
Why you shh? Like, I hope our funders are not paying attention. Yes, we've had a good success rate. I was actually shocked when I reapplied for another operational grant, non-restrictive operational grant from one of our funders who we got money from before, and we didn't get accepted into the final 200 people. but every other time we've used it, we've gotten money from it. I don't know.
Oh yeah. But yeah, so like that trip, you wanted me to do a trip for that event.
I applied using Notebook LM.
Okay.
I used Gemini and Notebook LM to come up with the application, to fill out the application for that. Yep.
Okay. And then you wanted the report, so you had a Google document that explained, what the report needs to have in it. So before I left for the event, I uploaded all the conference, stuff to Notebook LM, and I uploaded the document you gave me, and I told it to fill it out as best as can before I even left. And I just start filling it out,
But you know what? I knew when I was like, if Lloyd is going up there to represent him, I know if anybody, he's gonna come back with notes because I've seen you do it. Like you're recording, and then like we're sitting in Detroit. By the time the next session rolls around, you're already sending people the notes in the audio podcast.
So one thing that people, it's a simple thing to do. It's like, because all you need is a transcript. And so so one of our founders, we were doing something, and I compared her stuff to what the other people were showing while we were in our workshop, and I noticed her stuff was in a lot more detail and a lot more analytical. And so I asked her, I said, "What are you doing?" And that's because the two other founders that showed their stuff, it was like totally different. And so I asked her what she was doing, and she explained the method she was using, and so, okay. I said, okay. So what I did was I took that transcript. She only took like less than 2 minutes to explain her method. Mm-hmm. So I took the transcript and uploaded to ChatGPT, and I just asked her, what is her method for prompting? And it explained me what her method is. And so I took her method and I went back to my business idea prompt that takes you through the lean stack thing. And I said, please update my prompt for that with the method that she uses. And it was crazy. Yeah. But so taking less than 2 minutes of transcript and coming out with the method, but that shows you the power of the AI that understands.
Yeah.
And people that don't record stuff they attend and get the transcript and have AI analysts. So like even like this particular thing, transcript from this, I'll take that and I already have a prompt that automatically finds all the takeaways, the insights, and how to use those insights. And then I updated that prompt with her method, and now it's crazy.
Wow. You're gonna have to send me that later and make sure. I might need to improve mine.
One thing I noticed, I compared that using that prompt in ChatGPT, Claude, Copilot, Perplexity, and I use another one too called the Chat, and just to compare the results. And then I actually deduct the results of all of them in the Notebook LM and tell it so which one did the best analysis. and Claude actually won, which I was like shocked about that,
Yeah, that is shocking. But yeah. I feel you. I would definitely work all the GPTs at once to see which LLM's gonna come back with the best response. Yeah.
But yeah, so that's kind of, so like so if these two events that are coming, 3 events that are coming up, we're gonna give you access to all of these tools and even the career prompts, and then we're gonna give you access to the training platform, so you have them after you leave. So the Lean Stack platform, the Startup Science platform, and so it's and the Startup Science platform, it has all the non-dilutive funding things in there, and it has all the investors in there, and has sample documents, has courses on how to go from zero to exit. Yeah, so it's just an amazing tool, the resources that you're going get by attending these conferences.
And we've got a session on, I think it's day 2, where we're going to talk about local resources and national ones. So
Okay.
I think that's going to be local to national resources. So I think that's going to be great. So people who are in St. Pete and Bay area and they have yet to hear of Kakua Institute, they're going to learn about it there. And they're going to learn about all of these other organizations that can be there to help them and guide them to their career, through their careers and through their business. So I'm excited.
Yeah. So my saying on that is always think global.
Yes.
I participate in programs all over the world. I don't think local, I think global.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And because it's just really amazing. And so yeah, you won't go wrong by attending these conferences. All right, Evan, I think we kind of hit it pretty hard there. Anything else you want to encourage the folks before we get on?
I think this is the time. I know I hate to say now more than ever, but yeah, now more than ever. This is the time. You better leave Netflix alone. You better stop scrolling on social media, letting everybody else pass you by, because we are in a place where we need to use technology. We need to catch ahead. We need to get up in the front. And we don't know what the economic climate is going to look like in 6 months. It could be good. It could be bad. But if you use your AI GPT, you're in this way.
I can guarantee you, if you don't jump on board, you're going to be a victim. There's no way around it. And I tell people, from my standpoint, I've been working with it since the 90s, and for tech stuff, and now with the ChatGPT for the language stuff. But the basic principles are still the same. And the simple principle is that AI can learn any pattern.
Mm-hmm.
All it needs is the capacity on how big a neural network you can build. And so don't think AI is, it's not, everything in our life is a pattern. So and AI gets better faster than computing technology gets better. And so, and like you said, the thing today is a leap, with Canva is a leap, and that's the way it is, and that's the way it's going to continue. It's going to speed up. So, so you better hop on board now and build stuff yourself to make money. Otherwise, it's going to be interesting. It's already have a dramatic effect on our economy.
Yes.
And it's actually speeding. It's going to start accelerating the effect it has on our economy. So you're definitely going to get left.
What they say, you're either at the table or you're on the menu.
Yeah, I guess that's a good way to say it. And let's be at the table.
Yes.
Taking all that knowledge we have from our careers and our jobs and our experiences in life, and using AI to build stuff around your own personal expertise. Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, we appreciate you and glad we had a chance to talk. And like I said in the email traffic, feel free to extend the invitation to any of the speakers if they want to pop on next week and just spend a few minutes talking about what they're going to do. I'll be glad to have them on.
Sounds great. All right.
Take care. We'll see you. Thanks,
Take care. Have a good one. Thanks for having me.
Bye-bye.